Hello everyone, I am Gimmick Quattro, and welcome back to my channel. It has been quite a long time since I have posted on here. I actually looked it up before doing this recording. It's been 162 days, 12 hours. Whoops. As you can tell, this is definitely different content than what I'd normally be making. This is Raid Shadow Legends versus, Yu-Gi-Oh! Based content. But I got playing into Raid, and I know I've talked on this channel in the past, like maybe 2 years ago or so, about potentially running like a Raid account on here and just doing different other things on this channel and not just Yu-Gi-Oh! And I kind of fell away from Yu-Gi-Oh! For, I guess, the past, 5 months almost, something like that. A little over 5 months now. I've kind of fallen away from Yu-Gi-Oh! And it's like just one of those seasonal things where I have seasons. And but I really started picking up Raid, and I've been enjoying it a lot. And so I thought I would I'd give it a chance and run a special YouTube account and just kind of see what happens with it. And I mean, I'll try to stick with it, but if I don't stick with it, then I don't. This is going to be episode 1 of my challenge series, in which the challenge is Undead. Okay, Undead YouTube. It was realistically, this is not the most accurate username title, but it's fine for now. So the concept is that I'm going to be only using undead characters, right? And I'm going to be using those undead characters to complete everything. But when I will stop using those characters is after they can beat their own faction war, right? So faction wars are done where you can only use, if for those who, okay, people who are watching this know the game, okay? We all know how faction wars work. Faction wars, once they can beat the undead faction war, then I will randomly select a new tribe or a new group that I can play until I beat that group's faction war, and so on and so forth until every single one is done in the game, right? Pretty simple concept, I feel like. But that means as of right now, everything I want to do, every type of grinding, every type of everything that has to get done inside this game, I can only use undead characters to complete it until I can beat the faction wars for it. And that's where we're at, right? It's pretty simple. As we saw here, we only have Death Knight and we have Dampire as of right now. I do actually have a plan with both of these guys, and I will talk about that here in just a minute. So I started this account earlier on today. I wanted to be kind of at a place in which I actually had some characters, or like at least a character to like work with before I started the recording. But I ended up playing on like a little bit, so I completed all of Carrick Castle. I can solo the boss with just Death Knight. So if you want to have proof, I can prove it just to make sure that everybody knows that I'm legit on that. And then I've been slowly working my way through sewers of Arnok. And so this video, we're going to complete through more of this as I kind of talk about things going on with this and this account and stuff like that, and just do a couple small things. But this is going to be mainly like an introductory video to everything going on. And then in the videos to come, we're really going to start breaking down characters, what my plans are with those characters, like how I'm planning on building them, potentially like the masteries I'm trying to go through and stuff like that, and just the kind of the plans going forward and whatever else. So I have had this account actually open for like the past like 5 or 6 hours, and when I logged back on to see to start the recording, the next day it started. I didn't realize it had started, So we've actually been into that save for quite a while, which is nice, getting all the rewards. But that does mean I got to do my login stuff here, get my totem, and get my Michelangelo stuff. So, and we'll do my shop. My apologies. So, no, that's not what I wanted to press. Okay. So, I did work a little bit. So how I had to do this earlier, by the way, is I used Garrick. This was the champion that my wife chose for me to start the game with. So I used him, and I slowly went through the first campaign, completing the challenges with it, or like, yeah, the challenges with it. So it's the first artifact challenge is 3 of the weapon, 3 of the shield, 3 of the helmet, and then it goes up to 5 and whatever else that we see here, and that's what I'm going to be working on during this video. So I did that with him, and every single mystical crystal I got, or mystical shard I got, I summoned until I found an undead character. It took me like 18 or 19 summons or something like that before I found Death Knight. And then I actually ended up buying the Dampire from the market. Speaking of the market, oh, we have ourselves a Death Hound, so that's nice. That's a 3rd member at least that we can work with. I do not have a plan for the Death Hound yet. I do. So I've been messing around with this idea a little bit on my phone. And as I started to slowly kind of figure it out and put puzzle pieces together is when I'm kind of like, okay, I think I could do a YouTube series about this. Possibly. So I'm not going to go too in depth with these characters right now. Like I said, that'll be for a later video. We'll talk about them. Right now, I don't have the biggest plan for Death Knight. All I know for a fact is I've got a couple ideas swinging around for what type of sets I want to, like artifact sets I want to run them in. But obviously, like my biggest thing is trying to get through the entire campaign. My goal right now is to get these guys strong enough and quick enough, like quickly got them to a strong enough point to beat and fully star out the entire normal campaign. And then we'll start slowly going from there. So that is like my main first step of action. I also want to get to a point in which I can beat at least the first like 3 rounds of all of our stuff here. Beat a few in Minotaur so I can start working my mastery stuff. And like that'll be all part of like the first week is getting like the first 2 or 3 done of Minotaur and getting all at least up to auto 3 on all of these. And that's actually a part of a challenge so I can get another shard. We did have a shard build up here, so we can actually, once I actually got my first undead, being Death Knight, is when I stopped opening up mystery shards. I figured I'd wait until the recording, and then we could open up the rest of the shards during the recording. So that's what I'm going to do now at the very beginning. Because why not? Everybody likes a good shard opening. Now, I will say this. This is not going to be a completely free account. Okay? I've already spent a little bit of money. I spent like $3. It was to get the rare shard, and there was a couple other things, a part of like the package. It was like that, some silver, something or other. So I'm not going to be like spending a ton because I really don't have money to spend on this. But I did decide, like, I'll do like little purchases here and there and stuff like that. So, well, I hate the red. You're going to see me do this a lot. I don't need no red dots. It really irritates me. And I've been watching through some people's videos. Ash. Um, I watched through some of his content and kind of like learning a little bit and stuff like that, so I can get more prepared for making this video or for starting like the series and getting like more comfortable with the game. Because I've played the game on and off since it's come out. I just never stuck with it for super long. So I really don't know much about like the end game or anything like that. I would maybe play for like 2 months at most and would like stop playing. It really sucks because I actually had an account at one point in time that actually had the Ultimate Death Knight. Back when you could get him for free. And then I don't know anything about the login for that account anymore since it's been a while. And it sucks because he's really cool and I was super excited. And now here we are. So that's, it is what it is. I have done some research on the Undead. I kind of know some key characters that I would hopefully want to get and try to build up. Obviously speaking, I have to deal with the hand that gets dealt to me, but at least I have like an idea of like who would be, like, when I get them, my focus. So the hard part obviously is that I have no auras this early on. Okay, all my uncommons, commons don't have any auras. I don't know if that's true for every single faction, or if it's just they don't happen to. It looks like it's true of every single faction that you don't start getting auras until until rare. So that does suck, but it's not the biggest deal in the world. I have a pretty good plan for how I want to artifact her. I have an okay plan for how I want to artifact Death Knight. I have somewhat of a plan for how I want to artifact Death Hound, and that's about it right now. I have experience playing with all of them though, and I will be slowly going through on my phone and playing on that account and figuring out more and more as I get into this one as well, so it's not as like whatever. So I guess we'll do this shard opening here. I'm just going to throw on Donatello. I'm going to throw on this guy. I'm not thinking I'm going to open up enough shards to get them, but that sucks. A lot of these guys I have just been using as material to 3-star or to 4-star my guys, because there's no point in using them right now. So I've just been taking any rares or things like that, 3 stars that I get, and they've been immediately used as material. So there might be some point in holding on to some characters because I'm eventually gonna need them for like later on in the game. So there's like some argument to holding on to them, but honestly, I do not feel like it. I used the code to get her, so I didn't pull her or anything like that. I just used the code. I actually didn't think it was going to work, and then it did, so I'm like, oh, okay, cool. We will get Death Hound up, but I'm not going to really fully work on you too much. Obviously, the things that we care about the most are getting max skills on Death Knight and max skills on Dampire. Actually, as you can tell, the plan is we're going to artifact her in Savage, and I will explain more as to why. Yowza, this is not the best equipment, but it's fine. It's what we've got for now, so just suck it up and use it. Wow, that was just bad. Oh, that is crappy to see. It's fine. It's temporary. It's still early game. Okay. And that's what I keep telling myself. I haven't touched Arena yet. Should probably look into doing that at some point in time, but I've been doing some of the missions for Gallic just so I can get these rewards a little faster, and that's really been like my main reason behind it. So, all right, let's go into here. Actually, what am I looking at for the challenges? Where am I at? I am on Shield. Oh, you know what? I'm going to see if we can do anything with the dungeons and maybe try and get this shard if possible. Because it's also going to be super important for Ascension as soon as I can. Like, ascending my champions, the ones that are able to, as soon as possible would be nice, because it's just really good just to have those buffs immediately, especially with such weak champions. Too bad my commons, I can't do anything with them. I'm a big advocate that really everybody should have the ability to, like Summer's War. That's a game that I'm super familiar with. I play that one a lot, and for much longer periods of time. So a lot of my knowledge about games like this actually comes from there. It should transfer over at least a little bit. I've done, like I said, a decent number of research the last couple days on this game. And what I've gathered so far, at least stat-wise, that's super important, is speed. Especially PvE is speed. Speed is king. Is the biggest thing that I've heard. So that is going to be at least part of like what my plan is, where an artifact, because I've been looking at artifacts and I'm really just been trying to get rid of like all like 1-star artifacts and just trying to use like 2 and 3 for now. Especially if they're like green or blue already, so I can see my stats and get the bonuses on it, and instead of just going with the common. So that has been kind of partially where I'm at, but this is not going as well. Oh, that's not bad, but I don't think we can really compete too much higher in this, not until everybody kind of gets up and levels a little bit. I will be doing a lot of stuff, like, not like a ton, but I'll be doing some stuff obviously off camera, some grinding and things like that. So I guess in this video we're just gonna go through. We're not gonna worry about the challenges. We'll do those. I'll do that on my free time, but I want to show you guys my ability to actually make it through these campaign missions with who I have and the stats and stuff like that. So if anybody like wants to do this as well, they can at least have an idea of like where they need to be at to be able to do it. Like I said, for the most part, if it's going to be a 1-star, I'm just going to sell it. Some of them I will keep. I think 1-star speed boots, I will keep those. Just because they're so good. If I can get a 1-star, that's not just like a common. If it's going to be whatever, green or blue, and I can actually see what the additional stats are up front, they might be worth holding on to, even as like a temporary placeholder, where it's like, these are the stats that I want to have just on like a better artifact and putting it on someone. So, especially when I got characters that don't have anything, having some type of garbage on them is going to be better than having nothing, because a stat boost is still a stat boost no matter how you look at it. So this is kind of like, I've never actually watched like a full normal like video of people who do like raid content. I've just been watching like a lot of like discussion videos. Really don't know the general goes about of like what people would do, but I think with challenges like this, that there is a certain level of importance to be like, hey, I'm showing you what's happening so it can at least be proven that it can get done with like what I have. See, I'm definitely not keeping that. It's a lot of flat stats. And so this video, we're basically just going to push through as many campaign challenges as possible until I can't anymore. And then when I can't anymore, I need to figure out what I need to do to get push past my next thing. I'm not going to worry about necessarily 3-starring everything right now. I think the main thing is, because I've experienced this on my phone account already, is that it's very difficult. And I've got much better stuff going on. Not much, but I've got like Dompire up to 4-star, 3 Ascension with significantly better runes or artifacts. I have Death Knight. He's kind of at the point that he's at. Actually, he's 4-star maxed level with. This guy's 4-star max level with, I think, better runes on that account as well. Obviously, he's got better runes on that account, artifacts on that account as well, and stuff like. I just got better characters, with much better buffs to their skills and yada yada yada. And I've only been able to make it to a certain point before it's like, oh, I'm not getting anywhere. And a bunch of stuff is definitely not 3-starred. I've had to do it. I've had to do a lot of it with 4 champions just so I can get through. But I feel like in some regards, I just need to push, get at least all the campaign done, get all the campaign rewards, and then I can start being able to slowly look through and fully figure out how I want to artifact an individual champion at a time. And hopefully that'll do better, but because then it gives me access to more artifact options, at least in the campaign side of things. So this stage here, this entire like campaign section here is going to be most important for me, because this is where I can get a lot of undead characters for free. And so this is going to be the one that I'm going to be grinding out the most, just so I can get those characters and get their skills maxed out. And also crit rate runes or artifacts are very good, and we do want to see them. Some characters definitely need them, and whatever else I'll be grinding out for good ones of those. I don't actually know how long I'm planning on having this video be for. Probably about 30 minutes, but it's a little hard to say. Obviously, it's just a lot of me talking and just running through content right now, but we're gonna ship that off. So I guess I could talk a little bit about the artifact plan for these champions, and we can go more in depth with that in later videos. So Dompire, I like her. I've been trying her in lifesteal on my phone, because her second ability lets her steal life up to 20 or 30% of the damage that she does as like the base. But I figured if I've got a lifesteal set on, then I'm always stealing health, number one, so then she stays alive. But number two, that ability when it goes off is going to do much better, because I'm going to be stealing like a lot, especially during that point. And so I figured like it could go well like that way. But then on the other hand, I like the Savage set because I can ignore defense. And the ignore defense with, I'm going to, obviously, she's going to be a huge attack unit. I want to get as much attack on her as possible. But then the ignoring defense is good just because I can, because of her first ability. Her first ability says if this kills something, take another turn. And so being able to ignore defense is going to be a lot better for her getting her damage in. And having a higher chance of being able to kill something versus like the lifesteal set. So I'm probably right now going to either run her as Savage Crit or as Savage Accuracy. Right? I think accuracy's a 2 set. That's like my biggest plan. Also, I definitely might have made a mistake earlier saying that I can get the crit rate ruins or crit rate artifacts in this area. No. This is the defense ones. The crit rate is the next one, which does suck because I need to grind for both. But of course, I'm grinding in 2 separate areas. I wish it could be a part as one. Then I can get it all done at the same time, and I don't have to worry about doing 2 separate sections. But whatever. So that's the ultimate plan with her, as of right now, at least for her artifacts, as in at artifacts and stat focus. So obviously, speed as much as possible, crit damage or crit rate as much as possible, with decent crit damage, and as much attack as I can get, and then as good as accuracy as I can get as of right now. This is phenomenal. This is what we like to see. I'm actually gonna go and do this now. Might as well. I also might jump into arena and see if I can get a couple arena fights in before I end this video. Okay, so we got that mission done. We can at least get some of them done as we go along because they kind of like auto do it. Equip support type champion with 4 life artifacts. And of course now I hear the train coming. So that's going to be great. I'm going to have to remember to cut that out of the video. This is probably not going to be like my most heavily edited style of video, but I'll do the best that I can. But part of it for me right now is just actually making content, because I have not been great about doing that as of recently. So if I have to sacrifice at least a little bit when it comes down to maybe quality, I'm almost willing to do so just so I can actually get out any type of content. Oh, we're going to lose. Probably. It's not going to go well. I know I need to get my arena stuff done. Yowza. Well, I knew it wasn't going to go well, but I didn't think it was going to be like that. Okay. So I definitely need to get my arena stuff done. Or I need to get some better stuff going on with these guys before I can start even considering doing arena. And I'm going to let the train pass. Sorry about that. The train doesn't usually last very long, which is nice, but it still is annoying. So arena obviously did not go great for me. So we're going to hold off on arena. We really have to have a much better focus here on getting up levels and stuff before I can work on that, which is fine. It sucks, but it's fine. And I can do that after I end this video. I'll work on that, getting everybody up to a better point. So by next video, things will be a little bit better and I can at least get some arena wins to at least get my 5 done for the dailies. It would be like my biggest focus. So we're kind of at like the 30-ish minute mark as of right now. Obviously nothing too terribly exciting has happened, but we're setting the baseline. We are setting the baseline for the game. I'm going to try and do a video like maybe every other day or every like 2 days. Give myself like make a video, give myself like a day or two to do a little bit of editing with it. Come up with a thumbnail, get it posted, and then I will probably, the day that I post video, we'll work on recording another one and get that going. Because I know it's like there's some importance to doing it semi-consistently with daily stuff or different event things that are going on and whatever else. And I want to play the account, but I don't want to get like too far and it's the whole thing. So I'm going to try to do as much as I can like on video. If I go through like a campaign, the most I will, if I go through a campaign, say by like next video, I'm somehow over here, then at least I will go back through and I will show myself defeating the bosses of each area to prove the fact that I did it with the champions that I have. And I'll just show my champion. I mean, I can show my inventory and stuff too, so you guys can see what's leveled up and what's not, and if anything is like weird. I don't think anybody should have any issues, but you never know. And I'll be honest, if I make a payment, I will tell you guys what it was and stuff like that, and hope that it like works out. So, like I said, I'm only doing like small ones, just here and there, maybe hoping to get like a lucky draw, because it's gonna be difficult with just the uncommons and commons, unfortunately. And there's no good free undead for quite a long time. Do I get guaranteed free stuff? Yes, but I think my first actual guaranteed undead is not until like my 90 like daily login reward, which is Dark Elaine. What is her name? Login progression, Dark Ethel. So I don't even get Dark Ethel until 90 days. And then I get Dark Elaine after 120, which is the next month later, which is nice. But I'm not even, like I said, guaranteed any type of decent undead champions until then, which is a little rough. But what are you gonna do? Other than that, I am guaranteed my common and uncommons, and we have to hope that we get really lucky with some ancient shards. That's what it's called, with some ancient shards, and we get really lucky once we make it to getting our 2 free voids. It'd be nice to get a void undead this early into the game. So that's the overview, guys. Thank you so much for anybody who's watching this and has made it kind of to this point. I hope you like the kind of the idea and the concept. If you have any questions, let me know down below. I'll either answer them there, or I will make a separate video answering them, or maybe at the top of the next video I'll answer them. Just, but I think this is going to be fun. I'm really excited to do this. It's something different than what I normally would do. And I've thought about making content in the past on this game. Actually, when the game first released, I thought I could be like a Raid Shadow Legends player and stuff like that. And it just never really worked out at the time. But I'm here now. I love making content, even though I'm not the most consistent at it. I still really like doing it, and I'm hoping that I can find my stride with this. And so anybody who's here for the ride, I really appreciate it. And I hope I can do something with this, and I can really learn the game along the way, and maybe consider to be one of the better players someday. So thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please remember to hit the like button and comment down below anything, and subscribe to my channel, possibly. I know I'm at 230 subs, 233-ish subs, but honestly, that's not even a real number at this point. I'm practically at 0, if we're being honest here, because none of them were active subscribers on my account, and a lot of them were from a giveaway that I did a few years ago or something like that. It was really a lot of fake building up. So I'm kind of basically looking at my number as if I'm at 0. So it'd be really nice for the support, guys. I might have a goal of 50 new subs by the end of the year. But peace.